Hello, early childhood education students. The purpose of this video is to review the syllabus with you. This recording is made on the 26-27 school year syllabus. However, the content will be very similar if you are watching it for a different year. So let's jump in and learn what the syllabus is all about. First of all, I'm providing you a definition of a syllabus. A syllabus is your guide to a class and what will be expected of you over the course of a year. Generally, it will include class policies, rules and regulations, required text, and a schedule of assignments. A syllabus can tell you nearly everything you need to know about how a class will be run and what will be expected of you. So the early childhood class that we're in right now, we have the syllabus, and the syllabus is there to really tell you all about the class. So as the year goes on, if you have a question about the class, about assignments, things like that, I would encourage you to look back and read your syllabus. Why do we have such a formal syllabus for early childhood education 1? The first reason is that people tend to do better when they know what is expected of them and what the general plan is. If somebody gets a job, they really want their supervisor of the job to tell them what they're supposed to be doing. If you get a job and you don't know what you do, you're not going to feel very good about the job and you won't be very good at it. A class is very similar to that. You need to know what you're doing, what's expected of you, and how to do well in your class. The second reason is that this class is called a dual credit class. So you are going to receive credit both for your high school, the credit that you need for graduation, as well as you are going to earn 3 credit hours at Kishwaukee College. So typically to graduate from Kishwaukee College, you would need about 60 credit hours altogether. And by finishing this class successfully, you're going to have 3 of those hours already finished. Kishwaukee College requires us to use a syllabus because this class here you're taking in high school is the equivalent of a college course. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the different sections of our syllabus and review all of the policies and procedures included therein. The first is at the very top of the syllabus, so hopefully you have a printed copy with you. This has the name of the course, the times it meets, that kind of stuff. So this one says that the title of the course here at KEC is Early Education 1. But at Kishwaukee College, the title of the course is Guiding Young Children. So Guiding Young Children is the equivalent of Early Childhood Education 1. It says on here that the class meets Monday through Friday from 8:40 to 2:15. You, however, as a high school student, are not here for that entire length of time. 8:40 is the beginning of my first session and 2:15 is the end of my third session. So that's why you will see that. And then included there is the address of KEC. At the very bottom there is that says that this course will run from August 19th, 2026 to May 26, 2027. So that is the beginning and the ending of our school year. So a question for you, why is the course listed as starting at 8:40 and ending at 2:15? And that is simply because I, Mr. Kimmel, teach 3 sessions. One's from 8:40 to 10:10, one is from 10:40 to 12:10, and then my third session is from 12:45 until 2:15. Instructor information is located here. So my name is Steve Kimmel. The MSED just means that I have a Master's of Science in Education. My location is listed there. My phone number is listed there. If you ever need to meet with me, we're going to meet before or after class or during class. And then my contact information is there. skimmel@kecprograms.us. So email is really the best way to reach me. I have a lot of students who will send me an email If they're going to be absent one day, they might send me an email if they have a question about an assignment. So really the best way to reach me is via email or talking to me in class. The best ways to get a hold of Mr. K would be to talk to me in class or send me an email again to skimmel at Kishwaukee at kecprograms.us. So again, skimmel at kecprograms.us. Next, we have the course description. So Kishwaukee College has a course description that I've included here. And then what I have done is I've expanded upon that description. So I'm going to go ahead and read that for you here. The expanded course description says, Introduction to Early Childhood Education through Direct Experience Working with Preschool Children, Observation and Discussion. This course includes 2 to 3 hours of lecture and discussion every week, and 2 hours of working with preschool children each week. Through lecture and discussion and completing assignments, students successfully completing the requirements will earn the Level 1 credential through Gateways. So just to break this one down for you, we will be working with preschool children a little bit later in the year, and you're going to be learned by participating in discussions we have in class. I'll be teaching on topics, you're going to be doing assignments, and you're going to be earning a credential through 16 modules that we will be learning from. What are 2 things students will earn upon successful completion of this course? So the first thing that you're going to receive would be credit. You're going to receive high school credit and college credit. And then the second thing you will earn is the Level 1 Early Childhood Education credentials. So 2 things for you to look forward to as you finish this course in May. Student learning outcomes. So these ones are provided to you by Kishwaukee College. I've listed them there. So those are the things that they would want you to learn from this class. And Kishwaukee College's student learning outcomes are designed to prepare students for success in life, work, and relationships. So Kishwaukee College is all about helping all of you to become successful. You want to become successful in your life, in your work, and in relationships that you have. Next is a listing of topics covered. So I'm going to highlight some of these. So first of all, we're going to talk about the teacher's role in guiding young children. Guiding young children is helping children to behave appropriately, to make good choices. Another theme that we're going to talk about is emotional and social competence. We'll learn how children develop emotionally and socially. And then we're also going to explore several Level 1 credential topics, including health, including learning happens in relationships, etc. So I'm not going to read this entire list to you, but I do encourage you to read it, just so you know some things that we're going to be learning about this year together. My next question is, what do you hope to learn in this course? So I'm sure you took this course by choice. I would hope that you took this course perhaps because you enjoy working with children, perhaps because you want to be a teacher someday, perhaps because someday you want to be a really good parent. So really reflect on why you took the course, and I look forward to hearing that from you. The next one is on dress code. So we are a school. We are also a preschool. So it's very important that you dress appropriately for both school and the preschool. So I'm going to read this one. Professional dress is required at all times. Students will be practicing for real-world job experiences, so modest, conservative dress is necessary. Students must be covered from neck to knee on preschool days. Students will participate in the implementation of a preschool, so they will be role models. A role model is somebody that children learn from. They look up to and they learn from you. Role models are you'll have to model positive behavior, professionalism, promoting a cooperative learning environment essential. So this is a little thing on dress code. So I'm going to next show you some pictures, and we're going to have to say yay or nay. So yay is that's acceptable to wear at KEC. Nay is it is not. So the first one is jeans. It's a person wearing jeans, comfortable fitting jeans, very appropriate for working with young children. When we work with young children, we're going to be on the floor a lot. We're going to be sitting in small chairs. We're going to be doing art with them. We're going to be running with them on the playground. So comfortable pants are essential. The next one shows somebody in slippers. So while slippers might be really comfortable to wear at home, you might be able to wear slippers to high school. You cannot wear slippers to my class. So I want you wearing shoes to my class because after all, you're learning how to be a teacher, and teachers do not wear slippers to school. The next picture shows somebody with a hood up, and this is something I forgot to mention on the previous slide, but we will never have hoods on in the classroom. So no hats, no hoods, no baseball caps, nothing like that. We want to be able to see the teacher. Our children will be looking at you. They're going to be learning from your expressions, and we want them to see you. So again, no hats are to be worn in the classroom. If we go out to the playground and it's really cold that day, then you're welcome to have a hat or welcome to wear a hood, just not when we're in the classroom. The next picture is somebody with a short shirt, so showing her midriff. So we know everybody has a tummy, we know everybody has a belly button, but we want those things to be covered when you are in our classroom. So make sure that you wear a shirt that reaches all the way down to your pants. Next picture is somebody wearing tennis shoes. So tennis shoes are a great kind of shoe for an early childhood teacher to wear. Again, you're going to be running with children, playing with children, active with children, jumping with children, skipping with children, teaching them all kinds of skills, teaching them how to kick a ball. So you want to wear tennis shoes to allow you to do this. And then the last picture I have is one that I just grabbed of a teacher that I think is very appropriately dressed for an early childhood classroom. This teacher is not wearing fancy heels, not wearing a suit, but looks comfortable, looks professional, looks like somebody who's going to be a good example for working with young children. So remember, dress appropriately for class. If you ever have any questions, please let me know and I will try to answer them for you. Another thing about our appearance is not really our external appearance, but we want to make sure that when we're in a class, we don't have any odors that may be offensive. So we don't want to have body odor. We don't want anybody with perfume or cologne that is too strong. And we definitely do not want anybody in class who's smelling of cigarette smoke or marijuana smoke. So we're going to learn later in our class just how harmful cigarette smoke and marijuana smoke and the smell of them are for young children. Oh, one more picture popped up here. So this is a person wearing a baseball cap, happens to be backwards, but forwards or backwards, we are not wearing caps in our classroom. This next part of our syllabus is on required student materials. So first of all, Chromebooks. So I would guess that all of you have a Chromebook that was issued to by your school. You're going to be bringing that Chromebook to your class every single day. I'm going to have readings on there. We're going to have assignments on there. We're going to do assessments using our Chromebook. We're going to use programs like Docs and Google Calendar and Google Slides. So make sure you bring your Chromebook every day, and also remember you want it to be charged every day. So oftentimes when you get here in the morning, you'll see a slide up on the information station telling you that we're using Chromebooks that day and you want to be ready, to go. We do have a limited number of Chromebooks in our classroom, so should you happen to forget yours that day, still come to class and you can borrow one. The next required student material that I would encourage you to get would be a pair of earbuds that plug into your Chromebook. From time to time, you may be watching a video online, you may be doing an online training. So when you have earbuds, it makes it so you can hear it without everybody else in the classroom hearing it. Please name two things to bring to ECE. That would be your Chromebook, a charged Chromebook every single day, as well as some earbuds. The earbuds you can just leave in your backpack, or you can leave in your KEC backpack, and they will be ready to go for you. Again, there is the charged Chromebook, and there is a picture of some earbuds with a way of connecting them into a Chromebook. The next section of the syllabus is on learning materials and technology. So again, student Chromebooks will be used extensively in this class. Google Classroom will be used for communication between students and the instructor to share e-learning content, provide assignments to you. I will grade your assignments using Google Classroom, so make sure you have a Chromebook with you. Another thing that I have shown here is Teacher Ease. So Teacher Ease is a software that I use to keep attendance, and this is also where your grading will show up. So we will learn in class how to access Teacher Ease, because I really encourage students to keep a pulse on how they are doing in the class. In other words, know if you're getting an A, a B, a C, or something different. The next thing is a learning material. We're going to be studying some credential modules. So this will be provided for you. We're going to be earning the Illinois Early Childhood Education Level 1 credential, and we'll be doing that by learning about 16 different topics in class. So that I wanted to share with you, and then also various curriculum books and materials will be shared with you during the year. So nothing that you need to go by, just show up with your Chromebook, show up ready to learn. What should you bring to class each and every day? I would say a couple different things. I would say a good attitude. I would say an eager approach to wanting to learn. I would say the ability to have fun. And I would say bring your Chromebook. The next section of the syllabus is on how you will be graded for this class. So 30% of your grade is going to be based on what I call attendance, participation, and professionalism. So class attendance simply means showing up. I strongly encourage you to show up every single day when we have class, because you have to show up to succeed. Class participation is another part of this. From time to time, I will ask questions, and I want for you to be able to respond to those questions. From time to time, we're going to do activities together, and we want you participating. And then professionalism is meeting the expectations for how you behave, how you appear, if you use your class time well. What is your character like? Are you an honest, kind person? Integrity is really doing the right thing. Responsibility is knowing what you should be doing and getting it done. So you will be graded on attendance, participation, and professionalism. Also part of that will be what you do with the children on days when you are teaching them. So are you prepared with your activities to do with them? Are you ready to go when it comes to that? The next section is 60% will be coursework assignments. So you're going to be taking notes sometimes when I teach on a topic, and that'll be something graded. You're going to be making some materials to use with our preschoolers. We'll be making something called song cards. You'll be graded on things like that. You're going to be taking notes again when I teach classroom lessons. You're going to be doing something I call 2-week assignments. which are generally projects that you'll be doing in class. You're going to be writing activity plans on what you plan to do with the children, and you're going to be doing different classroom projects. So that's the majority of your grade. 60% are for the assignments that I give you, that you do well, and that you turn in. Finally, formal assessments are 10%. So assessments you might think of as a test. We do a final exam at the end of the spring semester and then at the end of the fall semester. So at the end of the fall semester in about December, you'll be doing a presentation in this class. And then in May, at the end of the spring semester, you'll be writing an essay outlining the things that you've learned in this class. From time to time, we will also have quizzes. Some of the quizzes will be announced. Some of the quizzes may be a surprise to you. So that is how I go about assessing your learning in our class. So 30% of a student's grade is based on A, P, and P. The first A is for attendance. The first P is for participation, and the last P is for professionalism. So my encouragement to you is show up, be active, participate, and act professionally, and you will do awesome in this class. This is the grading scale that we use here at KEC. So an A is between 90 and 100, a B is 80 to 89, C 70 to 79, D 60 to 69, and you don't want to get below 59 because then you will fail the class. The vast majority, I would say 95% of my students get an A or a B in this class, and they do so by showing up and doing the work that is provided for them to do. I would encourage you to think about what is your goal grade for this class and what are you going to do to earn this grade. So if I were in your shoes, if I were sitting in your desk as a high school student, I would say I'd like to earn an A in this class. And what am I going to do to earn it? I'm going to work hard. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do all of my assignments. I'm going to act like a professional. I'm going to dress appropriately. I'm going to be kind to others. I'm going to be a good role model for the children in our program, etc. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but it's really your responsibility. I don't give grades. Students earn grades. Other requirements is the next section of this syllabus, and this says all assignments, projects, papers must be proofread and free of grammatical and spelling errors. So very, very important. This is a college level class, and a college level expectation is that when you do stuff, you spell the words correctly, you use appropriate punctuation, use appropriate grammar, etc. Most reports and projects will need to be typed and submitted electronically. I do have sometimes where students do something writing on paper, but oftentimes it's done on the computer. And points will be deducted if errors are present on assignments, reports, projects, or are not typed when they're assigned to be so. So I do look at your spelling, I do look at your grammar, I do look at how hard you work in an assignment, and I grade on those things. The next thing on here refers to a second year class that we have. So you right now are in what is called Early Childhood Education 1. That is where you come to KEC 5 days a week. We also offer a class for high school seniors called ECE2. ECE2 is where you would go out into a school in your home school district and you would student teach there Monday through Thursday, and then you would come to KEC on Fridays. So each year I have 2, 3, or 4 students who take this class. They are interested in becoming teachers. They want to go get into a preschool classroom, get into a first grade classroom, get into a kindergarten classroom, and be a teacher. So That is what they do. So important to know that if you are interested in taking this class next year, you have to have at least a B in the class you're taking right now. And I have to agree that you are a student that I think would be successful in early childhood too. So if you're contemplating early childhood too, let me know and we can take it from there. So wanted to share that with you. Oh, look at this slide. It says L must be. Anyway, I have shown this because it's supposed to say all assignments must be proofed and free of grammatical errors. And obviously, I have a lot of errors in there. Please never turn in anything that has errors like this. Course exit requirements. So our course will end in May at the end of the school year. A successful completion of Child Care 1 with a grade of D or higher is required to earn dual credit with Kishwaukee College. Oftentimes, however, if a student has a D in this class, their high school will withdraw them from Kishwaukee College rather than having them get a D on their first college class. So I strongly encourage students to get an A or B because that's going to be a really good first class on your Kishwaukee College transcript. Another course requirement, successful completion of all 16 modules is required to earn the credential. Typically, about 90% of my students earn the credential by finishing all 16 modules. There's a handful every year that don't quite get all the work done and don't earn the module. And then lastly, as I was mentioning before, successful completion of Child Care 1 with a grade of B or higher is required to go into our next course. What grade is needed to get KC dual credit? Again, dual credit at Kishwaukee College, and you need a D. However, you do not want to start your college career with a D, a 1.0 grade point average. You want to start it with an A or a B grade point average. How many modules have to be completed to earn the credential? And that magic number is 16. 16 things that we will learn about, different modules that we will cover. And students must earn what grade to be considered for an internship in ECE2, and you have to have a B or higher, and you have to have shown me in ECE1 that I think you're a good candidate to be successful in ECE2, where you student teach in a school in your school district. Make-up policy. The attendance and participation points lost as a result of an absent cannot be made up. So if you're gone a day, you're going to lose some points for that day. There's no way to make them up. Tests and other assignments may be made up at my discretion. Generally, I require things to be turned in on time. If they're not turned in on time, sometimes I won't take them at all. Sometimes I will take them, but will grade you down on that. For example, each module that we're going to do is worth 50 points. If you do it on time and do it well, you'll get all 50 points. If you turned it in late, the most points that you can receive for that are 40 points. So I will talk a lot more about that as we get going into our school year. When are assignments to be turned in? They're going to be turned in on time. So I give students lots of reminders. I give you time in class to work on things very often. So I really expect you to get it done and turn your assignments in on time. The next part on here is just a link that you can follow if you want to go to Kishwaukee College policies and read all their policies and resources. But I have shared with you the ones that I think are most relevant for this class that you're taking at KEC. Next, we're going to look at what our school year is going to look like. So we have 4 parts of the school year. Part one is what I call off to a good start. And the year we're in right now, it's going to be August 19th through the 31st, which I believe is about 10 days, 10 or 11 days. So we will get a course overview. We'll talk about the syllabus, which we're doing now. You will complete a survey to give me information about you. We'll talk about classroom expectations. We'll talk about what you can do to be successful in our class. And we will explore a website that we're going to be learning about and using to earn our credential. And finally, we're going to have one day where we play. Young children learn best by playing, so I'm going to have different play activities set up in our classroom. You are all going to pretend that you are a preschooler, and you are going to have a day to play. The goals of part one: get to know each other, preview the roadmap for our semester, just where we're going to be going, what we're going to be learning about. I want you to develop an understanding of class expectations. Again, you need to know what I expect of you as your teacher for you to be able to meet those expectations. We're going to explore and register for a website called the Gateways Registry. And then we will move into part two. So this is slated for the month of September 1st through October 2nd. And this is going to be what I call a boot camp. So boot camp is something that we're going to do. We're going to learn a lot about working with young children. So when children actually come to our preschool, we're going to feel good. We're going to have some skills in working with them. So some topics that we are going to explore include how children learn. Children learn through play. We're going to learn how to interact with children, how to guide their behavior. We're going to learn about activities that we're going to offer to children. We're going to learn how to maintain a safe and healthy environment. Lots and lots of topics we will explore during our boot camp. Another thing that we're going to be doing this time is getting our classroom ready for our preschoolers to join us. So preschoolers are going to join us in the year, in this year, the 2026-27 school year. They'll be joining us on Tuesday, October 6th. So we're going to have an orientation for them the Thursday prior to that, where we get to know them. But during this boot camp, during this classroom setup time, we're going to be getting our brains ready to work with young children. We're going to develop some skills in working with young children, and we're going to be getting our classroom ready for the children when they arrive. Again, the goals of part two of our class: gain an understanding of how early childhood classroom works during our boot camp, prepare ourselves for the arrival of our preschoolers, and prepare our classroom for the arrival of our preschoolers. Part three, which will be the majority of our year, is early childhood topical learning on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and preschoolers on Tuesday and Thursday. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're going to be over on the student side. We're going to be learning about working with children. We're going to be completing our modules to earn the credential. We're going to be learning about other topics that I think are important for you to learn about. We're going to be learning about a curriculum called the Creative Curriculum. Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be learning days. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to have two teams. So one team will remain in their desk. The other team will be our preschool teachers. So the desk work team, they're going to be planning for what they will do with the preschool teachers. They're going to be working on assignments. And then our other side will be actually teaching our preschoolers. During the following week, we're going to swap responsibilities. So Team B will now come over and be on the desk work side. Team A will go over and be preschool teachers. I will be supervising everything that you do here along with my assistant Maritza. And so that is what we're going to be doing for the majority of the year, either working at our desk or serving as preschool teachers. The goals of part 3 of our class, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, are to learn about early childhood education and complete our credential modules. Tuesdays and Thursdays, half of our class will be preschool teachers, half will complete learning activities and prepare for when they're a teacher. So if you're going to be teaching next week, you might be leading group time, you might be reading a book to children, you might be doing some movement activities with children, you might be playing a game with children. You're going to spend the week before that preparing so you're ready for them. Additional goals, we want to provide great learning experiences for our preschoolers and great learning opportunities for our high schoolers. So our classroom is a place of learning. Our preschoolers are going to learn just like preschoolers do, and our high schoolers are going to learn how to be preschool teachers, how to understand child development, maybe how to be a good parent someday. And we're going to learn about children and early childhood by completing the 16 credential modules. Part 4, a long way away. So this will be as we approach the end of our school year. Our preschool is going to end on April 29th. After that, we will have a little bit of time to make up any modules that we may have been stalled on, and we're going to spend our final weeks of the year reviewing what we've learned. You're going to be giving a final exam, so that is going to be wrapping up the school year. The goals of Section 4, make sure our modules are complete, clean the preschool to prepare for the following year, review some additional topics, and send our students off well, either to graduation if they're a senior, or to their senior year if they are finishing their junior year. At this point in the teaching, I asked if there are any questions about the 4 parts of our school year. Next and lastly, I'm going to share a tentative outline, which I view as our map of the school year. So pictured on here is a road map with different destinations. So this is something that you're going to receive. This will show all the weeks of our school year and what we're going to be doing each and every week. So very important for me to have as a teacher so I can make sure to fit in all the information, all the activities, all the experiences that we're going to be doing. But I would encourage you as a student to look at this every now and then and say, oh yeah, next week we're doing this. Oh yeah, this is coming up. Also pictured on here are the days when we're going to be closed. So week number 4 will be our first school closing. It says no school on Monday, September 7th for Labor Day. So I'm not going to read this whole thing for you, but I do strongly encourage you to take the responsibility and take the time yourself to look through our roadmap. At this part in the teaching, I provided students with an opportunity to ask questions and to discuss anything that we learned while reviewing the syllabus and reviewing the roadmap. So I thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a lot.